Good morning, everyone. We've all been there, standing at the edge of our own potential, held back by feelings we refuse to confront. Fear, doubt, laziness, insecurity. These feelings whisper in our ears, telling us we're not good enough, not ready enough, not strong enough. But today, I'm here to tell you something that will change everything. Your weak feelings are not facts. And if you want to succeed, you need to kill them before they kill your dreams. We all face moments in life when we feel stuck, uncertain, or even afraid to take the next step. It's human. But what you need to understand is that these feelings of weakness, these doubts and hesitations that rise within you, they are not who you are, they are obstacles. And they can be defeated. That's right. These feelings are nothing more than signals your brain sends to protect you. They are designed to keep you comfortable, to keep you safe. But in this day and age, they do more to hold you back than they do to help you survive. Think about it for a second. Let's look at fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of discomfort. Thousands of years ago, fear was a lifesaver. It kept us from walking into dangerous situations, from running into predators, from making foolish decisions that could cost us our lives. But that's not the world we live in anymore. Now, fear is just a shadow, a whisper, a barrier that keeps you from reaching for your highest potential. How many of you have wanted to start something new, to chase a dream, but something inside you held you back? Maybe you hesitated, maybe you doubted yourself, maybe you convinced yourself that you weren't ready, that it wasn't the right time. So you let the moment pass. You let the opportunity slip away. And then weeks, months, even years later, you watch someone else step up and take that same chance you could have taken. They went after what you wanted, and they did it because they didn't let weak feelings control them. They didn't let fear dictate their future. You see, weak feelings, those feelings of self-doubt, fear, insecurity, take away from you. They steal your time. They drain your energy. They rob you of your purpose. And here's the real danger. They do it without you even noticing. They sneak in like thieves in the night, wrapping themselves around your thoughts, making you believe they're a part of who you are. They tell you, this is just the way you are. You're not built for this. You don't have what it takes. And before you know it, you've accepted it. You've allowed them to define you. But you have to understand this. Those weak feelings are lying to you. They are not truths about who you are, and they are certainly not truths about who you can become. When you let them take control, you hand over your power. You allow fear, doubt, and judgment to make decisions for you. And if you do that long enough, you begin to lose sight of who you are and what you're capable of. You begin to settle, to shrink back, to live a life that's smaller than what you're meant for. But here's the truth. You're stronger than those feelings. You are made for more than comfort and safety. You are not meant to live in the shadows, to hide from your potential. You are meant to step forward with confidence, to push through those moments of doubt and uncertainty, and to move toward the person you're supposed to become. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But you know what? That discomfort means you're growing. It means you're on the verge of something great. There's a moment in every person's life where they have to make a choice. Either you let fear control you, or you step into the unknown, despite the fear. And let me tell you something, if you choose to stand still, if you choose to let weak feelings control your actions, you will never know what you're truly capable of. You will never experience the strength that's waiting for you on the other side of that fear. You will never see what happens when you decide, I'm not letting these feelings hold me back any longer. Think about the people who inspire you. Think about the ones who have achieved greatness, who have overcome odds and barriers to reach their dreams. Do you think they didn't feel fear? Do you think they didn't have doubts, insecurities, moments of weakness? Of course they did. But they didn't let it stop them. They didn't let weak feelings take control. They learned to recognize those feelings for what they are, just signals. They acknowledged them, but they didn't let them define their actions. They kept moving forward, step by step, even when it felt impossible. And that's what you have to do. You have to recognize when those weak feelings come in. You have to stop letting them hold power over you. Because the moment you let them control you, you lose control of your future. The moment you give in to fear, you start building walls instead of breaking them down. You start shrinking instead of growing. And I know you don't want that. You weren't made to shrink. You weren't made to hide. You were made to step up, to stand tall, and to show the world what you're truly capable of. So when those weak feelings rise up, and they will, believe me, don't run from them. Don't try to hide from them. Face them head on. Look at them and say, you don't control me. You don't define me. I am stronger than you, and I will move forward regardless of how you make me feel. And let me tell you something when you do that. When you stand firm in your own power, when you refuse to let fear or doubt make decisions for you, you will find a strength inside of you that you never knew existed. You will find that the power to change your life, to step into your purpose, to achieve your dreams, has always been within you. It was never about the fear. It was never about the doubt. It was about you recognizing that those feelings were never meant to hold you back. They were meant to be recognized, acknowledged, and then cast aside. So when you feel weak, when you feel that fear creeping in, when doubt begins to take over, remember this: those feelings are just signals, not the truth. You are more than your fear. You are more than your doubts. You are stronger, braver, and capable of so much more than you realize. All you have to do is take the first step, face that fear, and show the world what you're made of. I want you to listen closely to what I'm about to say. Weak feelings, those moments of doubt, frustration, and fear, they're only powerful if you believe them. That's right. If you let them in, if you let them control your mind, if you let them steer your decisions, then they will rule your life. But here's the truth. You have the ability to change your response. You have the power to rewire your mindset. You are not at the mercy of your feelings. You are in control. The key is making the shift from reaction to action. We've all been there. We've all felt that pull of weakness, those moments when you're ready to give up, when frustration and fear start to take over, when everything inside of you says, this is too much, you can't do it. But here's the thing. It's all in how you respond to those feelings. If you let those emotions dictate your next move, you've already lost the battle. If you decide to make a move in spite of those feelings, to take action in the face of fear and doubt, then that's when you've won. It's that shift from being a reactor to being an actor that changes everything. Take a moment and think about someone like Thomas Edison. Do you think he just woke up one day and invented the light bulb? Do you think he didn't face setbacks, frustrations, moments of feeling like it wasn't going to work? He failed 10,000 times before he got it right. And those failures, they weren't signs that he was destined to fail. Number, they were lessons, each one teaching him something new, guiding him closer to the breakthrough he needed. Do you think he didn't feel frustration? Do you think he didn't feel doubt at times? Of course he did. But he didn't let those feelings control him. He rewired his mindset. He reframed each failure as progress. Each time he failed, he didn't see it as a step backward. He saw it as a step forward. And each lesson brought him closer to success. So what's stopping you from doing the same? What's stopping you from embracing discomfort, from seeing those moments of struggle as the building blocks of your success? What if, instead of letting fear stop you in your tracks, you saw fear as a green light? What if, instead of avoiding discomfort like it was something to be feared, you embraced it as the sign of growth that it truly is? That shift in perspective, just that simple switch in how you view fear, failure, and frustration can change everything. It can redefine your entire life. Now, I know it's not easy. I know there are days when it feels like everything is stacked against you. When those weak feelings show up, they can feel so powerful, so real, that they seem like the truth. They tell you you're not good enough, you're not ready, you're gonna fail. But those are just feelings. They're not facts. And when you let those feelings rule your decisions, you're giving away your power. You're letting the outside world, the circumstances, the struggles define who you are and what you're capable of. And that's not who you are. You were not made to be controlled by fear. You were not made to be controlled by self-doubt. Those feelings, those moments when you feel weak, are signals. They're reminders that you're pushing yourself. They're proof that you're doing something that matters, something that's worth fighting for. So why not change the way you see them? Why not take those moments of fear and, instead of letting them paralyze you, use them to fuel you, use them to drive you forward, use them to remind you that you're growing, that you're stretching, that you're becoming the person you're meant to be. You have the power to rewire your mindset. It's not about being fearless, it's about moving forward in spite of your fear. It's about seeing every obstacle as an opportunity, every challenge as a lesson, every failure as progress. Because let me tell you something, there is no such thing as failure, not unless you quit. You only fail when you stop. I know life can knock you down. I know the road gets tough, and sometimes you feel like you've given it all you've got, and still you don't see the results. But that's when you need to dig deep. That's when you need to reframe your mindset. You need to remind yourself that every struggle, every hardship, every single moment where it feels like you're falling short is just another step on the path to something greater. Each time you keep going, each time you make the choice to push through, you're strengthening your resolve. You're developing the mindset of someone who refuses to be defeated. Think about the greats in any field, whether it's sports, business, or entertainment. The ones who stand out, the ones who achieve greatness, are not the ones who never felt fear or doubt. No, they are the ones who felt those things and still kept moving. They took action. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They didn't wait for the fear to disappear. They moved in spite of it. So I want you to ask yourself, when fear knocks on your door, what are you going to do? When doubt starts creeping in, when frustration rises up, how are you going to respond? Are you going to let those weak feelings control you? Are you going to let them stop you from taking that next step? Or are you going to decide right now that no matter how hard it gets, you are going to keep moving forward? That's the shift you need to make. That's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. Every single one of us has the potential to do amazing things. Every single one of us has greatness inside of us. But it's not going to come without discomfort. It's not going to come without struggle. It's not going to come without some fear. But if you learn to embrace that fear, if you learn to use it as fuel, if you learn to rewire your mindset, then there's nothing that can stop you. The key is to stop reacting to your feelings and start acting in spite of them. Because once you take that step, once you make that shift, you will see that the very things that used to hold you back are the things that propel you forward. Fear becomes fuel, doubt becomes determination, and struggle becomes strength. And once you rewire your mind, nothing will be impossible. You've got to understand something about life. Your weak feelings will not disappear on their own. They won't just vanish because you sit back and hope they'll go away. No, you've got to take action despite them. You've got to take ruthless action. Too many people wait for the right moment. They wait for the fear to subside. They wait until they feel ready, until the doubt has faded away, until the discomfort becomes manageable. But here's the truth. That moment, that perfect time never comes. If you're waiting for everything to line up perfectly before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. The key is not waiting for your feelings to change. The key is to act in spite of those feelings. Think about someone like David Goggins. Now, this man didn't start out as the epitome of strength and resilience. He didn't come out the womb ready to conquer the world. He was overweight, struggling with depression, and working as an exterminator. But one day he made a decision. He was done letting his feelings dictate his life. He was done being controlled by his emotions, by his fatigue, by his fear. And so he got to work. Goggins didn't feel like waking up early in the morning. He didn't feel like pushing himself through grueling workouts. He didn't feel like running mile after mile when his body was screaming at him to stop. But he did it anyway. He got up when every part of him wanted to stay in bed. He trained when he felt exhausted. He ran when he felt like his legs couldn't carry him another inch. And what did that get him? It turned him into one of the toughest endurance athletes in the world. It took him from being a man who was physically and mentally beaten down to a Navy SEAL, to someone who now inspires millions with his story. Now, I want you to think about that. I want you to really understand the power of that decision he made. He proved something we all need to learn. Discipline is stronger than emotion. Your feelings will lie to you. They will tell you to stop. They'll tell you to take it easy, to wait for the right time. But discipline, taking action even when you don't feel like it, that's what creates real change. That's what gets you where you want to go. This applies to you. It's not just some inspirational story you can watch and forget. It's a principle you can apply in your own life right now. You don't feel like working out? Do it anyway. Your body's telling you to rest, but you know deep down that if you give in now, you'll regret it later. Push yourself. That's how you build strength, not just physically, but mentally. You don't feel like studying? Open the book. It's easy to sit back and let distractions pull you in, to procrastinate and push things off. But every time you put it off, you're letting laziness, fear, and doubt win. Every time you put in the work, even when you don't feel like it, you're making progress no matter how small. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been afraid to take that first step? Have you ever been paralyzed by fear, uncertain about what might happen if you fail? Maybe you've got an idea, a dream, a business you want to start, but you're too afraid to even take that first step. You think, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work out? What if I lose everything? I get it. I understand that fear. But here's the truth. The longer you sit in that fear, the stronger it gets. The longer you hesitate, the harder it becomes to move. But the moment you decide to act, the moment you take that first step, you weaken the grip of fear. Fear thrives in inaction. It feeds on your hesitation, on your uncertainty. But once you move on, you take that first step, that first action, everything starts to shift. The fear becomes smaller. The doubt loses its power. You may still feel it, but you're no longer letting it control you. You're taking back your power. You've got to be willing to take ruthless action no matter how you feel. Don't let your emotions, don't let your fears, don't let your doubts hold you back from becoming the person you were meant to be. Life is too short to wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There's only this moment right now. And you have a choice to make. You can keep sitting back, letting fear control you, letting doubt keep you stuck. Or you can make the decision to take action, to move forward even when it feels uncomfortable. And that's where the magic happens. That's when everything changes. When you take that first step, you're not just pushing yourself physically or mentally, you're reprogramming your mind. You're teaching yourself that your feelings don't define your actions. You're showing yourself that discipline, that consistency, that relentless pursuit of your goals will always win out in the end. You're proving to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts, stronger than your fears, stronger than the voice in your head telling you to quit. You may not feel like it. You may be tired. You may be overwhelmed. You may be scared. But when you take that action, when you choose to move forward despite all of that, you're proving something much bigger. You're proving that your commitment to your goals is stronger than your temporary emotions. And once you start doing that, you start building a life of strength, of resilience, of success. So don't wait for the right time. Don't wait until you feel ready, because you'll never feel ready. You'll always find a reason to wait, to hold back, to hesitate. But the people who succeed are the ones who stop waiting. They're the ones who take action right now, even when they're scared, even when they're unsure, even when they don't feel like it. Take that ruthless action. Get up, get moving, and start building the life you were meant to have. Because the moment you take action, you start winning. And once you start winning, there's nothing that can stop you. Let me ask you something. Who's around you? I mean, really take a look at the people in your life. Who are you letting into your space? Your environment is more powerful than you think. The people you surround yourself with can either lift you up or pull you down. Weak feelings thrive in weak surroundings. If you're constantly surrounded by people who complain, who doubt, who make excuses, guess what? You'll start doing the same thing. You'll start becoming one of them. And when that happens, you're not just holding yourself back, you're letting those weak feelings take root in your life, and they'll take over every single time. Think about it. When you spend your days around people who see the glass half empty, who focus on the negative, who always have an excuse for why they didn't get things done or why they can't move forward, how do you think that affects you? You start thinking the same way. You start finding reasons not to take action. You start letting those weak feelings become your reality, instead of recognizing them for what they truly are: temporary roadblocks, not permanent obstacles. Now let's flip that. What happens when you surround yourself with people who are disciplined, focused, and driven? What happens when you spend your time around people who are always pushing forward, always striving for something better, always raising the bar? Their mindset will start to rub off on you. You'll find yourself thinking bigger. You'll start pushing yourself harder. You'll stop making excuses and start finding solutions. You'll start believing that your goals are not only possible, but they're within your reach. This is why the people you choose to spend your time with matter. You don't have time to waste with people who are going to bring you down, who are going to fill your mind with negativity and doubt. You've got dreams. You've got goals. And you need a team around you that will support you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. You need people who will inspire you, who will make you want to be better, who will push you to be the best version of yourself. I want to talk to you about a powerful principle. Jim Rohn, a man who changed the lives of so many, once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." That's a simple but powerful truth. If you're spending all your time with people who are stuck in their own mediocrity, who are satisfied with doing just enough to get by, who are okay with sitting on the sidelines of life, then guess what? You're not going to be any different. You're going to find yourself in the same place they are. Your dreams will get smaller. Your goals will seem farther away. You'll start to lower your expectations because that's what everyone around you is doing. But if you surround yourself with people who are committed to greatness, who are driven by purpose, who are disciplined in their actions, then you will start to rise. You'll start to see that your potential is limitless. You'll start to understand that you have the ability to achieve anything you set your mind to. And you'll start moving in a direction you never thought possible, because the people around you are helping you see it, believe it, and make it happen. Take a hard look at your circle right now. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they pushing you forward, challenging you to grow, helping you see the best in yourself? Or are they holding you back, keeping you stuck in your comfort zone, telling you to play it safe making excuses for why they're not where they want to be. I'm not saying you have to cut people off, but you do need to recognize who's in your corner. You need to recognize who's helping you level up and who's pulling you down. Because those people will either be your greatest asset or your biggest liability. This isn't just about the people you spend your time with either. It's about the energy they bring into your life. Are they people who lift you up? Are they people who make you feel like you can conquer the world even when everything around you is falling apart? Or are they the kind of people who make you feel small, who reinforce those weak feelings, who make you question your abilities and your worth? The energy that people bring into your life matters. It shapes how you see yourself. It shapes how you think, how you act, and how you respond to challenges. If you're serious about achieving your goals, if you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself, then you've got to choose your circle carefully. Surround yourself with people who are hungry for success, who aren't afraid to put in the work, who are willing to do whatever it takes to reach their dreams. Because when you surround yourself with strength, when you surround yourself with people who won't settle for anything less than greatness, you'll find that strength within yourself. You'll find the courage to push past the fear. You'll find the discipline to keep going when you don't feel like it. And you'll find the drive to reach the top, no matter how many obstacles stand in your way. I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy. Life doesn't work that way. It's going to be hard. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up. There will be moments when the doubt creeps in, when the fear starts to take over. But when you have the right people around you, people who are strong, who are relentless, who are driven, you'll have the strength to keep going. You'll have the motivation to keep pushing forward. Your environment matters. The people around you matter. If you want to level up in life, if you want to become the person you're meant to be, you need to surround yourself with people who will elevate you, who will hold you accountable, and who will challenge you to be better. You need people who will remind you that your dreams are worth fighting for and that you're capable of achieving them. So take a hard look at your circle. Who's in your life? Who's helping you rise? Who's holding you back? Choose wisely, because your future depends on the people you allow into your space. Surround yourself with strength, and you'll become stronger. Surround yourself with greatness, and you'll become great. It's that simple, and it's that powerful. You know, if you're serious about changing your life, you need to understand something. Killing weak feelings isn't easy. It's painful. It's uncomfortable. The journey of growth, of becoming the person you're meant to be, is not a walk in the park. But here's the truth. Staying the same is painful too. It might not feel like it at first, but eventually that comfort zone starts to feel like a prison. It starts to trap you. And that's the real pain, staying stuck, staying where you are, letting life pass you by because you're too afraid to face the discomfort of growth. Let me break it down for you. The difference between growth pain and comfort pain is simple, but powerful. Growth pain makes you stronger. Comfort pain makes you weaker. You see, when you push yourself, when you force yourself to face those weak feelings, fear, doubt, discomfort, you're stretching yourself. You're growing. And with growth comes strength. But if you stay in that place of comfort, if you avoid the pain of growth because you're scared or unsure, all you're doing is making yourself weaker. You're choosing the easy road, the one that doesn't require much effort, the one where nothing changes. And the worst part, that's the road that leads to regret. That's the road that keeps you stuck in a life that doesn't match your potential. Think about the gym. When you go to work out, what happens to your muscles? They tear. They break down. It's painful. It burns. But that's how they grow. That's how they get stronger. If you want to build muscle, you got to push past the pain. You got to tear down what's weak in order to build something stronger. And the same thing applies to your mind. If you want to build mental toughness, if you want to develop a mindset that won't be swayed by fear, doubt, or hesitation, you've got to push past your weak feelings. You've got to push past the discomfort and the fear. Every time you step into that uncomfortable space, every time you face that fear and move forward anyway, you are training your mind. You are building mental muscle. And just like in the gym, it's painful, it's uncomfortable, it burns. But every time you endure that pain, you're making your mind stronger. You're proving to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. And the more you do that, the less control fear, doubt, and weak feelings will have over you. You'll start to realize that those feelings aren't as powerful as they once seemed. You'll start to understand that the real power lies in your ability to push through, to endure, and to rise above. I know it's not easy. I know there are days when you feel like giving up, when that fear or doubt starts creeping in and telling you to turn back. But I need you to understand something. That's the moment you've been waiting for. That's the moment that defines you. That's the moment where you get to choose which pain you endure. You get to choose whether you want to grow, whether you want to become stronger, whether you want to step into your greatness, or whether you want to stay stuck. It's so easy to fall into the trap of comfort. It's easy to let yourself off the hook. It's easy to make excuses, to find reasons not to take action, to avoid the pain of growth. But when you do that, you're choosing weakness. You're choosing a life of mediocrity. You're choosing to stay in the same place, to keep going around in circles, to keep telling yourself that tomorrow will be the day you start, the day you change. But let me tell you something. Tomorrow isn't promised. The time to make that choice is now. Now, I know there's going to be resistance. I know that when you start pushing yourself, when you start facing those weak feelings head on, it's going to hurt. It's going to be uncomfortable. Your mind is going to try to talk you out of it. It's going to tell you, this is too much. You can't do this. You're not strong enough. But here's the thing, that's when you need to push even harder. That's when you need to dig deeper, because the more you face that resistance, the stronger you become. Every time you take action in the face of fear, every time you push through that discomfort, you're breaking down those walls. You're tearing apart the beliefs that have held you back, the doubts that have kept you from reaching your potential. You're creating a new belief system, one where you know that you're capable of more. You're proving to yourself that the pain of growth is worth it, that the reward of becoming stronger, more resilient, and more confident is worth every ounce of effort. This is where true growth happens. It doesn't happen when you're coasting, when you're comfortable, when everything is easy. Growth happens when you push yourself beyond what you thought was possible. It happens when you face those weak feelings, when you confront the fear, the doubt, the discomfort, and say, not today, not now, I'm moving forward. You can't expect to be the best version of yourself without going through the process. You can't expect to reach your goals without the pain of growth. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. That's the truth. Because when you look back at the journey, when you look back at all the moments where you could have quit, where you could have stayed comfortable, but chose to keep going instead, when you look back at all the growth you've made, the strength you've built, the person you've become, you'll realize that the pain was the price you paid for the life you wanted. And it was worth every single bit of it. So stop running from the pain. Stop avoiding the discomfort. Embrace it. Welcome it. Because with every step you take through the pain, you're getting stronger. With every tear, with every struggle, with every moment where you feel like giving up, you're building the strength that will carry you to your dreams. You get to choose which pain you endure. You get to choose the path you take. And I can tell you right now, growth pain is always the one worth taking. Let me tell you something that you already know deep down inside. Weak feelings are like weeds in a garden. They may start small, They may start off easy to ignore, but if you leave them there, if you let them take root, they will choke out everything good in your life. They will strangle your potential, rob you of your progress, and leave you empty. And before you know it, you'll look around, and that garden that once had so much promise, so much growth, is nothing but a barren wasteland. Why? Because you allowed those weak feelings to grow unchecked, to take over, and now you're left with nothing but regret. But here's the thing. You have the power to change that. You have the power to make the decision right now, in this very moment, that you're done with weak feelings. That you're done letting fear, doubt, hesitation, and laziness control your life. You don't have to wait for the perfect time. You don't have to wait for some big revelation. So you just need to decide. You need to make the choice. And once you do, nothing, not a single thing can stop you. Understand this. The battle you're facing right now isn't about your circumstances. It's not about what's happening around you. It's about what's happening inside of you. It's about the fight between your action and your hesitation. It's about the decision you make when doubt whispers in your ear, telling you that you're not enough, telling you that you'll never make it, telling you that you should just quit. When that doubt comes, how do you respond? Do you let it take root, or do you answer with action? When fear tries to paralyze you, when it wraps its cold grip around your mind, when it whispers in your ear that you're not capable, that you're not strong enough, that you're not worthy, what do? Do you let that fear keep you stuck in place, or do you move anyway? Let me tell you something. Fear is not a stop sign. It's not a roadblock. Fear is just a signal. It's a signal that you're on the verge of something big, that you're about to grow, that you're about to step into something greater than you've ever known. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your ability to move through that fear. So when fear grips you, when it tries to hold you back, you have to move anyway. And when laziness comes knocking, because believe me, it will, you need to push through. Laziness doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your future. It doesn't care about the impact you could make on this world. It only cares about keeping you stuck, keeping you comfortable, keeping you from reaching your full potential. But you know what? You're stronger than that. You have what it takes to push through the laziness, to rise up, and to take action. Every time you do, you're building momentum. You're telling yourself that you won't let anything stand in your way. Not fear, not doubt, not laziness, not anything. Because here's the reality. You are in a constant battle. It's a battle between action and hesitation. And every time you hesitate, every time you let weak feelings dictate your actions, you're losing that battle. You're letting the weeds take root in your garden, and that's not the life you were meant to live. You were meant for something more than that. You were meant to walk in your purpose, to achieve greatness, to make a difference. But that can't happen if you let hesitation rule your life. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The path to success is not easy. It's going to be hard. You're going to face challenges. You're going to face moments where you feel like giving up. There will be times when everything inside you is screaming to quit, to take the easy road, to stay comfortable. But that's where the magic happens. That's where the growth happens. Every time you make the decision to move, to act, to push through, you're taking one step closer to the person you're meant to be. So I want to challenge you right now. I want to challenge you to make that decision today. Make the decision that from this moment forward, you will not let weak feelings dictate your life. When doubt whispers in your ear, you will answer with action. When fear grips you, you will move anyway. When laziness tries to keep you down, you will push through. You've got greatness inside of you. You've got strength inside of you, and it's time to stop letting hesitation keep you from living the life you were meant to live. Today, I challenge you to win that battle. I challenge you to take action, even when it's hard, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when you don't feel like it. Because every step you take, every time you push through, you're getting closer to the life you've been dreaming of. You're getting closer to the person you're destined to be. And let me tell you something, you've got everything inside of you to win. You've got everything inside of you to fight through the doubt, to rise above the fear, to push past the laziness. You've got everything you need to win the battle. And today is the day you start. So make that choice. Kill those weak feelings. Rip out those weeds. Don't let anything stop you. Because when you truly decide that nothing will stand in your way, there is no force in this world that can stop you. Nothing.